this is the second time I'm recording this video because apparently the first time I didn't have my microphone on. Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope you guys all made it through that 2-hour live stream because holy cow, it was long. But just in case you don't have a whole 2 hours to devote to that live stream, I am going to sum up everything that happened in it in a much shorter amount of time. So Sim Guru George, aka now known as Sim Guru Happy, as well as Sim Guru Jessica, took us through this live stream and they did a really good job. We got to see a bunch of the stuff that's coming with the Sims High School expansion pack, and we also got to see a lot of things that are coming in the base game updates. So let's go ahead and start with the base game update. Now, they did not give us a date for when we are getting this update. That being said, the Sims team typically likes to release updates on the third Tuesday of every month. So that would be this upcoming Tuesday, July 18th for us. That's not a confirmed date. That is just a speculation. If we don't get it this upcoming Tuesday, I think we would definitely get it by next Tuesday because the Thursday after that is when the game pack comes out. But whenever this base game update comes out, we are getting a whole bunch of new goodies with it. We are getting a sexual orientation panel for our Sims. Now, it's a little bit basic right now. There's only so much they've done with it, but at least it's the beginnings of a start of attraction system. So under this attraction panel, you can pick if your Sim is attracted to men, women, or both. Now, unfortunately, it is just a binary option at this point. The way they described it is when this system was made almost 8 years ago, it was developed with a binary system in mind. So while they are trying to work around it and improve and expand upon this system, it's a little hard. So hopefully we'll get updates to this in the future to include non-binary Sims. You have the option to if your Sim is exploring romantically. So what that means is sometimes when you're a teenager, you don't necessarily know everything that you like. Maybe you're exploring around, kind of trying to figure yourself out. So there is an option for that. So that way if an NPC Sim comes onto you, and yes, they can do that now, it will affect how your Sim reacts, which I thought was a kind of neat feature to add in. And my favorite feature so far is you can have woohoo partners. Okay, so what this means is you can have a relationship with someone that you have no romantic interest with at all, but you still woohoo with them. So basically, they're bringing friends with benefits to The Sims 4, and I'm loving it. Next up, we are getting body hair in the base game, and I don't just mean body hair you can stick on and leave alone. No. We're getting a whole body hair feature. So we're getting arm hair, leg hair, chest hair, back hair, facial hair, which yes, we already had, but guess what? You can shave it now, and you can shave any of your hair. Sim Guru George /Happy was very excited to point out to us.
Old man Pagula, he's looking a little hairy. Let's talk about shaving other parts. Let's do back hair. Oh no! There we go. Yes.
But the hair growth is also optional. So if you want your Sims hair to just be like it usually is, you have the option for that too. But I think it is a really kind of fun, neat little thing they threw in there, and I'm really, I'm loving that. Wants and fears are also making a return to The Sims 4. So back in Sims 2, we had a wants and fear system that would affect your Sims, and it looks like they are overhauling our Sims 4 whim system because, like, who plays with whims anymore? They're overhauling it to wants and fears. There are 3 different types of wants and fears. There are the long term, the short term, and the reactionary. And what the reactionary would be like is, say your house caught on fire. Your Sim may develop a fear of fires. Your Sim can then learn to overcome that fear, or they could just live with that fear. A want could possibly also be a career. Maybe they want to get a promotion or things like that. They're really driven by traits and desires, and I think it'll be really interesting to see what they have done with it. When The Sims 4 was launched, the Sims were supposed to be these great thinking things, and they kind of weren't. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they create this and how much it changes. But it seems like they're really trying to add character development and growth to The Sims, which I am all here for. We are getting curved walls. I genuinely did not think it was true that we were going to be getting the curved walls. I genuinely, truly thought it would never happen in The Sims, but they made it happen. So what it is when you go into build, in the same area where you have the decks and the platforms, you will now have a curved wall option. Now, it is only in that option as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, you can't build your own curved walls, which kind of makes sense, and which is why I was thinking curved walls would never come to The Sims 4, because it's based on the grid system. So for them to add the curved walls, they kind of had to go in and cheat some things around, but we're getting them, which I think is going to be really fun to be able to make a circle room, finally. Base game is getting a new phone layout, so they have updated what the cell phone looks like in the game. They've tried to make it look a little bit more like a newer phone. So instead of this list of things like an old BlackBerry, you'll have app buttons that you can push. All of the same features are still in there. It just looks different. I'm of two minds about this. One, I understand why they wanted to update it, but two, I don't really like change. We're also getting NPC relationship autonomy. So what this means is that NPCs can start asking your sim out on dates. So we don't always have to be the one to make the first move. On the flip side, NPCs can also break up with us now. So really adds to some gameplay aspects here, which those are our base game updates, but that was not all that they showed in the live stream. They did also show off this expansion pack, which I felt they did a really good job with. So starting with the cast system. The cast in this pack is very teen-centered, so they didn't make any toddler or kid clothing. I suppose you could put an adult or elder sim in these clothings, but I don't know how well that's gonna look. But just because they're teen clothing doesn't mean there's not a variety. They tried to base it around different teen aesthetics things like to use. Being a teenager, they said it's kind of a time for exploration and growth, so there's all different kinds of ways to experiment with your style. There are a few outfits that are only unlockable through gameplay, which I hate that. I've never liked that some of the build buy items and some of the cast items are always locked behind gameplay, because sometimes it just fits your Sims story to already have those pieces. But with all the clothing, it does kind of tie into the new trendy app and thrift store options. So we have a new trendy app, which is basically kind of a little bit like a social media, except you're trying to promote clothing and such. And with the thrift store, you can go in and it gives you a random assortment of clothes that are there that day. You have to then try to make an outfit, post it on Trendy, try to hype it up, and then sell it. So it's a fun way to kind of make money in the game. They didn't go into a whole lot of the specifics, but I think it'll be a fun aspect to play around with. And we also have fashion likes and dislikes. So this is a really fashion focused pack, which isn't necessarily something I was expecting out of a high school pack, but I'll take it. We have 4 new teenage aspirations, and these aspirations are only available when you're a teenager, which kind of gives teens a little something fun to do extra. We have the live fast, admired icon, goal oriented, or drama llama, and each of these aspirations will give you a reward trait that you can take through you throughout life. So it's a really fun way to kind of build your Sims teenage story and with where they want to go in life. We're getting a new trait called socially awkward, which I love that trait. Okay, it's definitely fitting for high school students, not even just high school students. I'm in my 30s and I'm still socially awkward, so. The world of Copperdale, they kind of went into a little bit, and it seems it has a lot of history, a lot of lore, and a lot of stories to kind of uncover, which I really like that they're doing this. It feels like they're really putting in a lot of effort with the stories and the histories behind the different townies and the worlds that they're building, which I really like that. I'm okay with getting 1 expansion pack a year if that expansion pack has been fully fleshed out and we're getting a bunch of stories and things to play with. The world has 3 different neighborhoods, including the fairground neighborhood. So yes, we're getting a Ferris wheel and a spooky ride and stuff like that. And yes, you can woohoo in them. You can woohoo in the photo booth. You can woohoo in the Ferris wheel. You can woohoo in the scary ride, which at first I was kind of like, ew, it's kind of gross. But then I got to thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? Teenagers do kind of woohoo everywhere, don't they? The build buy mode is mostly teenager focused, so it includes a lot of bedroom sets and stuff like that, but not much in the way of kitchen and stuff. And the reason why they did this was they explained, since this was a teenage focused pack, they wanted to include build buy items that a teenager would be able to use, which mostly teenagers only get to decorate their bedrooms for the most part, which makes sense, although I am still a little sad that we're not getting any just general build buy, but I understand it. On the plus side, we are getting getting dual screen computers and widescreen computer monitors, which, oh, I love that so much. Teens also have 2 new jobs they can do. They can be a gaming streamer, which I think just about every sim streamer is going to be excited about that. And they can also be a simfluencer, which ties into the Trendy app, and that's where you're making money, kind of trying to trend up certain outfits and making money off selling them. So a lot going on there. They went into the high school, and the high school is going to be treated like an active career. So the exact same active career system that we have set up for different jobs in the game is going to be what is implemented here. If you have more than 1 teen sim in your household, you can control both of them or just one of them at the school at a time. So it really kind of makes up for some fun gameplay. You're not limited to just the 1 sim. If you don't like how the school looks, it is completely customizable. You can bulldoze it to the ground and rebuild it however you want. And trust me, I will definitely be doing that. The only hiccup is you cannot do it while school is in session, while your sim is there. So you would have to go into manage worlds and then go to the lot, bulldoze it, and build it that way. Your sims will have 2 different classes each day, lasting for about an hour, which gives you a lot more time to kind of explore and do teenagey stuff, like ranking lockers, or asking sims to prom, or making friends, or getting lunch, which I really kind of like this aspect of it. I felt like in Discover University, you spent so much time on all your classwork, you can never really do all the other things at university. So I really like that they dialed that back a lot. That way you have more time and room for activities and stuff. Speaking of activities, they added 4 new after-school clubs. You can join the football team, cheerleading, computer team, or chess club. And within each of these clubs, you will of course, be given teammates to be able to make friends with, but you also get a rival. So lots of drama and storytelling abilities there with that. Your schoolwork also has consequences. So you can go to school and study hard and make it to every class, take every exam, ace them, and graduate valedictorian. On the flip side, you can skip class, prank the principal's office, maybe get expelled, or be banned from prom. And if you get expelled and don't graduate, you don't necessarily get to go to university. And there are some jobs it bars you from in the future. So your actions have consequences, which is really, really fun to deal with. So I really like how they have set this up in high school. I feel like they're kind of exploring more with it. We're getting more choices, we're getting more things to play with. Again, we're getting consequences, which is something I never thought would ever happen in The Sims 4. I feel like when The Sims 4 first came out, they tried to make it a utopia. That way everyone could kind of play the game their way, which I think was fun for a little while for some people because it was something we never had before, but too much utopia can be a bad thing, and I think that's kind of what happened with it. So it's going to be fun to have some challenges in the game. I was a little annoyed at 2 hours plus live streaming. Like, I felt that was just way too long to be doing this. I found myself getting a little bored at times, but one of the pluses that came with that is we got to see them really go through and kind of play with this game pack, which I am happy to report there were not many glitches at all. I personally didn't see any glitches. I'm sure there was something there that I'm missing, but I didn't see any major red flag, hey, this pack may be broken glitches, which is really good. And on top of that, literally, by the time I finished watching the live stream, I checked my subscription feed, and a ton of the EA Creator Network people had already been posting videos that they've made with their early access of this pack. So the fact they have early access almost 2 weeks ahead of when the pack is coming out, this kind of reminds me a bit of Cottage Living. So I feel like by the time we finally get the pack to buy, it's gonna be a pretty solid pack, which I'm very happy about. My nerves around everything have kind of gone down. I'm sorry, but my wedding stories created some trust issues between me and The Sims, okay? All that being said, though, wow, a lot to take in, a lot to go over and go through, but that's not the only thing we have today. See, I've been running this whole giveaway thing, and I think it's about time to announce the winner. So here is my wheel. This is the fairest way I know to do it. Everyone who commented with the correct keyword on my past 3 videos, his name is on here, and I'm just gonna spin this wheel, and we are just going to see who wins this. So here we go. All right, we have our winner. Congratulations to our winner, and thank you for everyone who participated in it. To claim your prize, just send me an email at the email on the screen right now. And just to give everyone a fair warning, I do have an authentication process. So if you try to email me and say it's you and it's not really you, I'm gonna know. But all right, now that all of that fun stuff is out of the way, I guess I could talk about this build for a few minutes. So this build is actually a military school. I have no idea what inspired me to build a military school.
Yo, I went to military school. I love that. Couldn't do it. Went to military school. Did I mention I went to military school? Yeah, I did go to military school.
I guess it just came to me. No, I've been watching Aaron's channel a lot lately, which check on the link above. His channel's up there. It's great. If you haven't watched him, you need to go watch his videos. But he's been talking a lot about his experiences in school and how he went to military school. And it honestly kind of had me thinking about back when we had different boarding schools in The Sims 3. We had a military school, we had like an art school. There were all different kinds of schools that you could send your Sims to. And with this pack, you could possibly build those schools. So here I am building a military school. I don't really know a lot about military schools. It's not something I went to or experienced. The closest thing I can get to knowing anything about military schools is Major Payne. So this may not be very accurate, but when you walk into the trophy room, and then you have various different elements of the school. You have the principal's office and a meeting room. You have a cafeteria and a huge gym. Upstairs, you have a handful of different classrooms pertaining to different subjects and a study room where everyone can work on their projects. It is a boarding school, so going outside, you have 2 different dormitories, one for the boys and one for the girls. You have a library back across campus, and in the middle of campus, you have a running track that in the center of you have kind of an announcement or graduation kind of stand, and also a little swimming pool to, you had to learn how to swim. So I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun building different kinds of high schools when we get this pack. I mean, think about it. You could essentially build any kind of school you want. So if you want to make it like a military school, you can do that. If you want to make an arts-centered high school, you can do that. There are a bunch of different things you can do with this pack, and I am just really, really excited for it now. Like, really, I wasn't that excited for it in the beginning. I really, really wasn't. But now that I've seen it's not going to be that bad, I'm ready for it. But that is it for today's video. Again, if you are our winner, make sure you send me that email. That way I can get you your prize. And thank you for everyone else for competing. I still don't necessarily know what I'm going to do with the Let's Play. I thought about doing a Let's Play for high school where we took either Judith Ward or the Pleasant Sisters and played through their stories, but that poll is ridiculously close. Like, holy cow, I did not know it was going to be this close, so I have no idea which direction I'm going to go in. Let me know down in the comments below which direction you think I should go in, and I will see everyone next time. Bye!